Hey everyone, and welcome. My name is Leah, and in today's video I thought it would be fun to do a little bit of a garden tour. This is our vegetable garden slash a few cut flowers. Definitely nothing fancy. I have a ton to learn when it comes to gardening. This is my second year having a garden. But anyway, just thought I would share with you all kind of where we are and what we've completed to this point, and then also kind of backtrack a little bit and share where we started. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the video, and thank you so much for being here. I decided to go ahead and document the entire process of creating our garden this year. I just thought it would be a lot of fun to be able to look back on, and I hope it's something that you enjoy seeing too. I have to start out by saying I am definitely not a professional gardener. In fact, I know very little. Most of you watching probably know way more about this than me and could probably offer me a lot of good tips and advice as you watch this video. But I will say that it has been so much fun to just dive in and learn as I go and just grow our own vegetables and the things I can harvest and use for my family and preserve for winter, and it's just been so much fun. Last year, I decided to try raised bed gardening. I had my heart set on it, and it did go well, but it was just a little bit too much upkeep for me. And when it came time this year to prep the ground or prep the beds for the garden, I just really didn't have time or want to spend the money to refill all of those raised beds with soil. Mostly because we had perfectly good soil right in the ground here, and we have a tractor that can do all of the tilling for us, and it was just a lot easier to get rid of the beds and just do a traditional in the ground garden. A couple of days later, I came outside here to just kind of map out where I wanted to put everything. I had this vision of creating a tunnel of vines going through the center of the garden, and so that's what I'm doing here. I just used some old tobacco sticks to kind of mark out the path where that would go, and then to create the arches, I had plans of using just some 16-foot cattle panels and bending them to create that arch, which I'm sure you've seen that done many times before. And then my plan was to do cucumbers, squash, and zucchini to create the beautiful vines. For the rest of the garden space, my plan was to just do a combination of vegetables and flowers, just kind of all mingling together to create just an overall natural and organic feel to the garden. What I did wrong is I planted things way too closely together. I didn't factor in simple things like how big certain plants or flowers get, and so because of that, I caused myself a lot of extra work throughout the season, having to trim things back, but you'll definitely see all that here in just a few minutes. Last year, it was really important to me that I start as much as I could from seed inside the house before spring even rolled around, but this year I was a little short on time, so in order to get a garden in the ground in a good amount of time, I had to go ahead and buy some of the plants. I did start a few things from seed, mostly flowers, but the rest I pretty much just bought plants and put them in the ground. Of course, green beans I started from seed, direct sowed those, as well as carrots, and then I bought zucchini, squash, cucumber, pepper plants, and tomato plants I just purchased already, ready to go. For the onions, we were gifted some onion starts from a family friend, and I'm not even sure where they get them, but last year I tried to do onions from seed and it just really didn't turn out for me. But this year, by starting out with starts, we were really successful in our onion crop this year. So really excited about that. I can't remember the variety of them. Maybe you guys can help me out when you see them here in a little bit. But anyway, one of my favorite things that we grew this year for sure. To get control of the weed situation, I did end up laying a lot of straw down, and even though I did have to check the garden daily and pull weeds here and there, I feel like adding the straw made all the difference in the world as far as weed control and also helping to hold in moisture. One of the things that has intimidated me the most, honestly, is tomato plants. So this year I only planted 3 tomato plants, and I was a bit behind on pruning them and making sure that I clipped the suckers and everything, and they just took off so fast and got a little bit away from me. So I did take a day and just go in and trim them properly, make sure they had the proper support, and I'm happy to say we finally have some tomatoes appearing. You can see here as the season has progressed, my arch pathway of vines is really starting to come together, and it has been so much fun. I bring a weed eater out here every week or so and just keep this path clear, just so you can have this really pretty walk-through tunnel experience and then be able to kind of veer off to the different paths in the garden depending on where you want to go. And of course, one of the most exciting and fun parts of our garden this year is incorporating lots of cut flowers into the space. So for this year, I decided to go with forget-me-nots and eucalyptus, both of which I started from seed inside over the winter. I also chose cosmos and zinnias because they are super easy to just direct sow at the beginning of the season, and they grow like crazy. And of course, the garden space makes the perfect playground for the new barn kittens. I hope you enjoyed this look around our garden space for this summer. It's definitely been a labor of love and something that I wish I could devote a lot more time to than I'm able to, but nevertheless, we were able to put some plants in the ground, harvest some vegetables for our family to enjoy, and then also preserve for the winter. And so overall, it's been a success. So excited to even expand upon this next year, and I just look forward to learning more and more along the way. So thank you again for being here, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Bye.